today's top headlines, and what a Democratic representative said earlier today in regards to the stimulus package. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, so today there have been a number of random updates hitting the wire, but I've gone through the full list. I've pulled out the most relevant information for all of you right here in this community that I think everybody should probably know about during this very busy time. And honestly, it's a pretty weird time that we're living through right now. So let's get into it and discuss all of these headlines. All right, so first off, let's quickly talk about a good news story that just hit the wire today. All right, so remember that video yesterday? I said that there were going to be 31 tons of baby formula landing in the United States today from European countries. Well, guess what? It never arrived yesterday. However, it did arrive today. We do have full confirmation that it has arrived in the state of Indiana. Now, this actually came over from Germany, and the reports are saying that anywhere between 35 and 39 tons of baby formula has landed here. Now, you might be wondering, why between 35 and 39? I've seen multiple reports coming out today saying 35 tons, and I've seen multiple reports coming out saying 39 tons. So, I wasn't there, so I don't really know what it actually turned out to be, but the reports are saying these two numbers. So either way, the fact of the matter is it is here in the United States. Now hopefully they can distribute this out to all the families and of course the mothers and babies who need this all across the United States, because it's going to be a while until the labs right here in the United States who manufacture this baby formula is going to have this back on our store shelves. In fact, according to a separate report, they're actually saying it's probably going to be another 2 months until the manufacturers here in the United States will have this baby formula back on store shelves. So looks like we're probably going to be importing this from European countries here for probably a couple more months. Anyway, finally, some good news for probably a lot of people out there who have probably been very worried and scared here for the last week or so since this whole shortage has gone into effect. So anyway, a good news story there. Now let's get into it and talk about some other things that went on today, including some interviews. Now, typically, Sundays are a very busy day when it comes to interviews with lawmakers and people out of the administration and just a bunch of other talking heads that come out and have all these interviews. Well, once again, that went down today. Now, there were a few interviews that I came across, and I want to share those with you in this video because there were some interesting things that were actually said, and I always like to point this stuff out because anytime that you're talking about politicians, you kind of got to read between the lines, right? You got to listen to what they're not saying to actually understand what they're maybe trying to say, if that kind of makes sense. Anyway, let's get into it and talk about what these lawmakers or what was actually mentioned today in these interviews. All right, so first off, earlier today in an interview with Representative Hakeem Jeffries, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, he was out earlier today and was talking about the $1.9 trillion reconciliation bill, the American Rescue Plan, that was passed about a year ago. He went on to say that this saved the United States economy by getting vaccines into arms, money into pockets, through the stimulus checks, by the way, the $1,400. Yes, by the way, we can never forget those. And then, of course, by lowering the unemployment rate and creating millions and millions of jobs. Now, there's also a lot of talk out there right now, again, on the other side of the argument. Like I always say, I like to take both sides of the argument just to understand what is really going on. It's only fair to understand and listen to both sides, right? Again, that's how I like to structure all this stuff because I want to keep a level mind when it comes to all this stuff, and I want to bring you the most valuable and the most relevant information through these videos. So anyway, the other side and other people are out there saying that this $1.9 trillion stimulus package is the reason why we are dealing with all of this massive inflation that we're dealing with right here, right now. So anyway, again, I'm not here to tell you what to think about it. I'm simply here to give you the information as it was being delivered. But again, Hakeem Jeffries went on to say they need to do more. Yeah, what do you say? How fast can you get it done? So, Hakeem Jeffries, what do you say? Maybe you should go talk to your buddies in Congress and, get something worked up here. And again, like we've talked about so many times here, we're not calling on a massive stimulus package to send out money to every single person out there walking around the United States. That's not what's needed. We don't need that. We need something highly, highly focused on the low income and the fixed income. I think all of us in this community are very much in agreement when it comes to that, right? We don't need to send every dude walking around the streets making $100,000 a year or $80,000 a year. He does not need to get a check, right? No, we need the low income and the fixed income to grab that money and to actually get the money. So anyway, I think we all are on the same page when it comes to that stuff. So a highly focused bill, a highly focused package, and more for these people would certainly be definitely in order right here, right now. All right, so that was one interview. All right, so separately in a separate interview, obviously separately in a separate interview. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, another person came out today, Brian Dees, who happens to be the economic advisor for the administration, came out. And in that interview, he was indicating that all of this rapid inflation and all this high inflation that we are dealing with right here, right now, is as a result of the United States being in transition. Again, you got to kind of read between the lines. So this is the United States being in transition, coming out of the COVID situation and coming out of a high growth period into more of a contractionary period right now that we're coming into. In other words, recession. However, he did not indicate that, but he also did not deny that a recession is likely going to be coming. However, at the end of the day, let's just say it how it is. The Federal Reserve printed way too much money. That's all that really happened, okay? At the end of the day, when we look at everything cut and dry, right down to the point, the Federal Reserve printed over $6 trillion in the last 2 years. That's what's going to cause inflation, right? So it's way too much money chasing way too few goods and services. That's exactly what inflation is. So it's too much money in the system. So they need to start vacuuming some of that money out of it, right? The Federal Reserve needs to turn on their big, powerful vacuums and start sucking trillions of dollars out of the system now. I'm not saying taking money away from us. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply saying that there are way too many United States dollars in the system right now, right? So anyway, that's how the inflation comes down. So again, we can discuss all of that in a separate video or, in more detail later. But again, that's a whole different topic that went on today as well. Now, another CBS poll that was just released today shows that 69% of respondents say that they think the United States is either bad or very bad. So essentially a little bit over 2/3 of the people, in other words, 2 out of every 3 people, actually it's a little bit more than that. So like 2/3, so it's like 2 out of every 3 people plus like maybe the arm of the one guy, right? So the third person maybe like grab his arm, something like that. So it's like 2 people plus an arm is basically what it comes out to, right? Obviously not, but you know what I'm saying. It's a little bit more than 2/3 of the people that are walking around the streets right now think that the United States economy is actually very bad or bad in a situation right here, right now. At the same time, they're also indicating that 56% of respondents actually are thinking that the president is not doing the best job right now. Again, these are not my words. These are the results out of the polls that are coming out. And I think you know by now in these videos, I don't take political sides. I do my best to go right down the middle and try to give you a fair assessment from both sides, but I do like to give you the honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information regardless of which side it leans toward. I want to make sure that you know what is actually going on with all this information that is hitting the wire, right? So these are a few things that are going on right now. Also, another announcement that I want to throw out there for those of you that are located in the Chicago area. Please remember, as I mentioned, maybe 2 days ago or so, Willie Wilson, he's going to be starting another $1 million giveaway. Starts tomorrow, okay? Please pay attention to that. It is going to be starting in Chicago tomorrow, and this is for food and gas. Food and gas. The other 3 giveaways that he's done were all about gas. This time it is about food and gas. So if you're in the Chicago area, please check this one out. Willie Wilson throwing down another $1 million starting tomorrow. So please check that out if you're in the Chicago area. Also, earlier today we talked about monkeypox. Yeah, seriously, something else coming up right now. Well, get this. It's already been found in New York, Massachusetts, and now they're actually investigating potential 3rd case in the state of Florida. So here we go, right? I mean, obviously, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know where this is going to lead to. But the fact of the matter is, this is something that like 2 weeks ago was not even really a thought or a consideration in many, many countries all around the world. However, as of right now, there's about a dozen different countries all around the globe that already have actual confirmed cases of monkeypox. And yes, here in the United States, it is confirmed here as well. And now we're possibly looking at a third state being added to the list of those, containing an active case of monkeypox. So anyway, the president indicated earlier today, as I said in that earlier video from earlier, which by the way, he is over in Japan right now. So obviously it was like overnight for us by the time that when he said these remarks, but he did say this is a concern and that we all need to pay attention to this. We need to watch this monkeypox and that it is certainly a concern. So again, something we got to watch here. So we've got COVID, we got monkeypox. What's it going to be next, right? We got the bird flu. Bird flu's going around too. What else could we add to this, right? Yeah. Throw your guesses down below. What do you think is going to be the next one to come in now, right? We've got COVID, we got monkeypox, we've got the bird flu. So we got the bat virus, as some people used to call it. We've got the monkey virus, and we've got the bird virus. What else is left? Like a fish virus or something? I mean, seriously, what's it going to be, right? Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. The snake virus, right? The reptile virus. I don't even know. Seriously. So weird with stuff going on right now. Anyway, I want to keep you posted with everything going on. These are the weird updates that I have for you as of right now. Of course, there was a lot more other things going on today, but honestly, there was nothing really even worth talking about, so we're going to leave it there for right now. I'll be back right away tomorrow with more updates, letting you know what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that is happening right now, and like I've always said, my dedication is to bring you the latest updates as these announcements are hitting the wire. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, or even better, go back and check out some of the other videos here on the channel, over 2,500 videos, and of course, share any of those with your friends, family, and social media as well. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.